Morning counts us like reluctant coins, and the mud remembers every careless footprint we spend. The river asks our names without ceremony, and we answer with breath we cannot spare. Strategy is a lantern under stormcloth, its glow stubborn against the universe's wet arguments. Weight teaches faith to the feet, a catechism of patience and splinters. We polish thunder with rags that smell of soup and fear and home. Pain speaks in pulses, and our fingers reply with grammar, learned from urgency. Comfort is small and ceremonial, a shrine built from leather and warmth. Voices travel by lightning's road, asking permission to be brave on arrival. The mountain answers in long sentences, none of them willing to forgive. Names keep steadier time than hearts, ringing the hour of every difficult breath. Hunger is communal law here, and mercy is measured in ladlefuls and steam. Distance edits the truth into mercy, but duty corrects it back to iron. Memory frays like cloth, yet still it wraps us against tonight's relentless weather. We move in borrowed rhythms, letting the storm keep time for courage. Time refuses calendars here, preferring wood, smoke, and the arithmetic of survival. The earth kneels and stands again, worshipping both terror and endurance, without choosing. Prayer becomes logistics when tenderness must lift what language cannot carry. Moments pause during artillery, hoarding seconds to spend later on forgiveness. Even water wants to redraw our borders, erasing bravado with patient fingers. The village learns new anatomy, and we pulse through its ventricles toward dawn. Mercy is rationed like ammunition, counted by hands that already shake enough. Sky writes our fear in carnival hues, a cruel festival the night attends. Paper offers doorways, pride bolts them, then pockets the keys for later. We listen to dirt like midwives, awaiting the dangerous birth of silence. Sweetness lives in the ordinary sip, bravely ignoring the artillery's opinions. Even beasts negotiate with fear. We envy their honest terms and outcomes. Words survive by hiding, yet leap forward like children when unwrapped. Stealth is a prayer to the leaves, asking them to forget our names. Some targets become mirrors suddenly, and we choose to remain unreflected. Healing flirts with humor, both embarrassed by their timing, both necessary. We draw new stars with gunfire, then beg the clouds to forget them. Superstition is the tax we pay when arithmetic can't console the living. Authority arrives, sounding human, and for a breath we obey with gratitude. Compassion learns local physics, gliding wherever grief needs smoother passage. Luck is a reckless shield. Tonight it chose an object small and faithful. Survival drafts armistices that diplomats study later and call miraculous. Faith hijacks equipment, proving the sacred travels any circuit without permission. The hill learns our names by recoil and speaks them back as smoke. Meals remember gentler calendars, seasoning the present with missing afternoons. Innocence keeps its roundness amid jagged plans and unrounded sentences. We tune ourselves to courage's pitch, vibrating together until the bank appears. Command pretends at games to practice moving without spilling real lives. Some seconds acquire thrones, ruling empires of silence no map admits. Shapes return cruelly honest. Imagination surrenders to edges and distances again. Gentleness persists like a stubborn song that refuses the chorus of guns. Music makes room for breathing, where language has barricaded the exits. Beauty files a protest against war, delicate and brave, and largely ignored. Mercy is heavier than anger when the night grows honest and cold. Decisions wear small symbols. Consequence adds volume later, without asking. Even explosions learn to whisper when graves are listening nearby. Bureaucracy becomes pilgrimage when the stamp means a road back home. Love polishes itself on necessity, shining stubbornly through grit and thunder. Cooperation speaks fluent gravity. We translate by lifting at the same time. Hope is brewed bitter and hot, best served between prayers and stitches. Ingenuity keeps marching after pride would prefer a more dramatic halt. Nature refuses enlistment, yet still keeps time for our terrors faithfully. Plans forgive the finger's clumsiness. Fate is less generous, but occasionally amused. We draft peace from scrap, decorating the present with future intentions. Paper asks us to listen. The river underlines every fragile word. Refusal is another bravery, rarely witnessed, never paraded, always remembered. Conversation begins with survival. The great topic we all pretend is smaller. We instruct emptiness to carry us, paying the toll in sweat and trust. Language bows to touch, and meaning crosses borders without papers or patrols. Hope insists on color, even when the world argues strictly in iron. Authority learns open hands, and the weather approves with delicate applause. We construct a monument to restraint, small and sufficient as a breath. Counting stops where mercy begins, though the numbers keep whispering afterward. Respect wears no uniform and salutes with equal, untheatrical tenderness. Beauty borrows practical tools, modest and radiant after a night of alarms. Life reopens its shop early, selling green to anyone with patience. Departure is a mixed flavor, rust and relief dissolving together on tongues. Childhood resumes its jurisdiction, annexing airspace from artillery without debate. Honor learns new neighbors, comfortable beside ordinary acts of repair. Commerce of small joys opens, pricing laughter lower than memory today. Language re-enters, like a shy guest, invited to rebuild every broken sentence. We tidy the echoes of war, hospitality for silence, long overdue. Nature edits our pages with water, reflecting a draft worth keeping. We pass along cheaper miracles, little flights our hands can still afford. Work relearns gentler catches, swapping shrapnel for silver flashes of river. Crossing becomes a lullaby, the valley hums back to itself. Home is percussion and patience, driving small nails into enormous storms. Care is the new discipline, practiced in rows and watered with quiet. History becomes blanket, warming nights that once burned without warning. Precision discovers fellowship, and accuracy becomes another word for trust. Security returns as a small sound, repeating until the heart believes. Joy attacks open space, winning ground doctrine never knew existed. Memory registers its citizens, granting them the protection of being spoken. Love verifies the seal, approving the ordinary miracle of still belonging. Leaving is a ceremony of breath, exchanged until the rail sings departure. Peace is measured in small indulgences, the luxury of unnecessary neatness. We anchor ghosts with numbers, inviting them to haunt us gently and helpfully. Faith practices ventilation, letting forgiveness and weather share the same air. Hunger dreams in warm syllables, finally spoken without interruption or siren. The world drinks from our discarded wars and returns sweetness unapologetically. Night rewrites itself kindly, editing violence into blinking, harmless commas. Boundaries become agreements instead of walls, negotiated by callous and patience. Grief prefers simple architecture, stable enough for weather and returning footsteps. Supply becomes synonym for future, and the schedule keeps miracles on time. We teach courage without appetite for hate, seasoning memory with tenderness alone. We carry the war carefully, as porcelain, so peace may be poured without breaking.